Good morning, everyone. Overall, the theme of this topic is the intelligent techniques for malicious intent detection. The topic what I have chosen itself is a very broad topic. The reason is the malicious intent. If whenever I say malicious intent, so this malicious intent in is having several dimensions where you cannot fix to one application area. That means this malicious intent may be with respect to that is capturing the devices or capturing the particular laptops or computers, or sometimes intended to destruct the operating system, or sometimes may intended to uh, damage the IoT devices or embedded devices. So where the internet of where the wherever the devices are connected in the internet or network. So hence it is a very broad topic. The reason why I have chosen the broad topic is so it will be helpful for the beginners and the intermediate, uh, the intermediate researchers for taking up the any of the topic, whatever they like. Like as we have seen from the past 5 days, such as the cyber security nexus threats things by uh, Mr. Subham Shukla, and by actually the shilling attacks, image and video forensics, cyber threats and social media by Dr. Sakshi Gupta madam, and cyber security and IoT by Rajalakshmi madam, and modeling and analysis of cyber security, security of cyber physical systems. Actually, this particular topic may not cover in the current discussion. The reason is this is completely deals with the modeling aspect. So hence, it is a some it is particular thing is not covered. So federated learning for the cyber security, malware analysis. Yesterday, speaker Dr. JP Singh sir has told this. So actually, these are the topics which made me which will help me to uh, smoothly go through this particular topic, that is intelligent techniques for malicious intent detection. That means they have already provided some seed related to uh, the things like the basic things like in which direction this malicious intent is fixed. So, uh, so that is the reason this can be considered as a broad topic, and in which I will try to share as much information as possible with you, so that you can use your expertise or the interest, and you can proceed further. So my topic, that is the topics to be discussed in this presentation, are like this. So first I will start with the general introduction to the malicious intent and what type of malicious intents are there. Then importance of malicious intent detection. Then what are the common challenges that will be faced in the uh, in the going for the malicious intent detection. Next one is what are the different intelligent methods that we can incorporate, and a beautiful area in the machine learning which is called as adversarial machine learning. So how this adversarial machine learning and the malicious intent detection can be can be used together to identify the vulnerabilities or security threats. Then what are the different key steps that need to be followed in the malicious intent detection? What are the different technologies and tools used for the MID, that is malicious intent? Then we'll move on to some case studies and success stories, and we'll discuss some best practices for the malicious intent. Then future trends and emerging technologies, followed by conclusion. Then afterwards, we'll move on to how to perform dataset preparation, what are the different benchmark datasets, and if possible, to have permits hands-on. So before moving on to this, I would like to share this particular drive in which you will find the current presentation as intelligent malicious intent detection underscore PP. And whatever the things I will discuss, the related PDFs, etc., will be available in this folder. And the example that what I'm going to show is also provided here. And the links that I am going to use for the presentation is available in the references section. That is references.txt file. And other intelligent IDS techniques that I'm going to discuss is available in .txt file. So this is the organization of this particular folder, so that you can go side by side when I am discussing. The malicious intent refers to any activity or behavior with harmful intention within the cyberspace. So the cyberspace is nothing but where the internet is connected and the devices are communicating over the internet or a particular network. So present day, the growing security threats are because of the cyber threats that are on the rise, such as witnessing the relentless surge in the cyber attacks across the globe, and mainly the data breaches that which has been discussed by Dr. Sakshi, have become alarmingly common, and high-profile incidents affecting individuals, businesses, and even governments, such as information theft, data theft. By yesterday, the speaker is also telling that via Android applications, how the data will be stolen from your mobile phone. So this one. Next one is ransomware attacks. These are the most commonly happening attacks before 2020, and currently also it is happening recently in the during COVID-19 time also. This kind of attacks have severely happened, and advanced persistent threats. These are the very serious threats, and many of the hacking groups are seriously working on this advanced persistent. They may work individually, or they may work on behalf of any government, especially to place some modules within the opposition devices, or opposition companies or governments and their devices, so that silently, without knowing to them, the data will be the important data will be fetched, and that will be reported back to the originator. So this is what the advanced persistent threats have demonstrated, the ability to infiltrate highly secure networks and steal sensitive information. So these are the four main things where we can consider them as malicious intent. One is cyber security threat, data breaches, ransomware attacks, advanced persistence. However, whenever we consider these four, they may also, that is, these things will give us some vulnerabilities, or will identify vulnerabilities and will inject some payloads. And these payloads will be exploited or will be fired by the originator, that is hacker, so that the relevant attack will be performed. So after successful exploitation of the vulnerability, the attacks may be different type of attacks may have, such as denial of service attack or wormhole attack or many kind of attacks. So basically, to do this, first of all, you should understand what is the reason behind it. So the reason behind this is majorly the use of the internet. Please remember, whenever you want to minimize the threats, so automatically you have to use the lesser number of networking. So if you look at the statistics here, so the number of internet users are more than 560 million in our India. India is the second largest internet online market after China, because here data rates are very cheap. It is expected by 2023, that is by this year, may reach 650 million. internet users. Around half of the population in India had access to the internet. There is 27% internet penetration in India just in last 5 years. But if you come to the Delhi and National Capital Territory, is city with the highest internet penetration rate in 2019. So why all these things? The reason is the number of internet devices. So the number of networking devices plus internet is is directly proportional to the number of security. So this is what the thing. So in case of mobile users, so active number of internet users are this. In case of social media users, monthly active social media users are this. While coming to the share of Facebook in social media market in May 2021 is 77. In case of e-commerce sites, like 76.7% active users during the COVID-19 lockdown. So they have habituated to the internet e-commerce sites during that lockdown time, and they are continuing to use those e-commerce sites after the lockdown. That is the current situation. So that is the reason we are supposed to mainly focus on the what is the by focus on the countermeasures, especially what are the things to be made and how intelligently we can detect such kind of attacks. If you look at in the newspapers, anti-phishing portals see steep rise in cybercrime complaints amid pandemic. So that means during the COVID-19 time, and India become favorite destination for cyber criminals amid COVID-19. Government portal records over 4 lakh cybercrime complaints less than a year. And while coming to this, in the Economic Times, it was mentioned that cybercrime on the rise with more people shopping online. So all these four news articles are linked to this previously what we have discussed. So this is only just a motivation that to give you an idea that as the number of internet devices increases and the networking devices increases with the internet connectivity, there is more chances of having security. So what to do for this? So first of all, we should understand what are the different type of malicious intents. Like the if the security threat is exploited, so what can be done? So what may happen? Like identity theft, psychological tricks will be played by the hackers, social media related attacks, digital banking fraud, attack through mobile applications, virus attacks on personal computers, malware, hacking, phishing. So these are the various malicious intents with which the attackers will try to capture the or try to attack the network. So before moving on, let us see the basic flow of performing an attack. So the flow will be like, so usually we all know that we are supposed to use some cryptographic techniques or some encryption methods to avoid this kind of attack. But the cryptography or security is a kind of first level of defense that it has to be done by any kind of message transfer or information exchange. But sometimes there is a possibility that to tamper the data or to tamper the information, even though after performing the encryption. Or sometimes there is a possibility that anyhow, whatever the information that you send, that will be sent through some data packet. Either it may be via the TCP, IP packets, or whatever the packets. So the information cannot be directly sent. Instead, they will be encapsulated within the packet, and the packet will be transferred to the destination. So during this transit, obviously there is a possibility that changing the changing the bits in the packet, or maybe repacking the packet, or injecting the false packets, or injecting some tampered packets, or some injecting some fabricated packets. So these are the things are possible during the transit. So especially whenever whenever the data is received at the destination, That means data means whatever the data was sent at the in the raw form, whatever that what we will see, like a message, how what are the encrypted message that will send, that will not be directly received there. Instead, the destination will receive it as in a packet, and these packets will be assembled. So thereby we will get the virtual. So this is what the general uh, architecture of this particular flow of information between the source and destination. So during this particular time, so after capturing the entire packet, after combining the entire packet, so whatever the data you get it, uh, that sometimes after decryption you will get the original message. But what will happen if there exists some misleading bit changes or misleading information in the packet structure itself? So thereby, some of the devices that you will place at the network level or at the device level, which are also called as the second level of defense, called intrusion detection system. So these intrusion detection systems are considered as the second level of defense after the cryptography methods or any other security mechanisms that follow, that will usually filter the traffic that is coming into the computer, such as the firewalls or any of the operating system defined IDSs, or maybe a third party IDSs like SNOT or any other thing, may be placed at the network level or at the device level, especially through check the through to filter the packets and letting the packets to be coming into the system. So what packet to be allowed, what packet not to be allowed, which port to be allowed, which port not to be allowed, all these the rules you can define in the firewall also. So these firewall that means in the firewall we can mention which software to be allowed to run, or which application to be allowed to run, or which traffic to be allowed to enter into the system, or which traffic to be sanitized when you go out. See, all these things you can rules you can mention in the firewall. So they are also kind of second level of defense that we will use at our system or networks. So the same is the case in the case of network intrusion detection systems or the intrusion detection system. In addition to this, we have other way of recording by independent operating systems. That is, individual operating systems will provide a special kind of keeping track of the record of what traffic has entered into the system and what traffic is passed from the system is by system logs. So the system logs will also consisting of at what time which packet entered and what type of protocol it used, and this kind of information will also be maintained in the system logs. So here with this what we can understand is, to identify malicious intent, the main thing we focus is on packets. That is what the first one that we have studied now. So after that, the what are the different sources with which we can get these packets? That is via the that is via traffic that you observe at the firewall level, or the traffic that you observe at the intrusion detection level. And also along with this one, we have other source with which we can analyze the malicious intent is via the checking of the system logs. So here three methods are there: observing through the packets, raw packets, or whatever the things we are getting. Next one is network traffic. Third one is system logs. So these are the three main sources with which we can identify or apply any kind of method to define or to detect the possibility of security attack. That is, what kind of malicious intent is posed by the attacker on the target system. So whenever this attacks have happened, so this is the some classification of the cyber threat taxonomy. We can say this is the taxonomy classification, cyber threat classification. So here intrusion attempts. Sometimes there is no rule that intrusion attempt will always be successful. So if you look at you used to see in Discovery channels and all, okay, a tiger will run after a small deer or something. So so we always see in the Discovery channels that always the deer will be caught by the tiger. So, but if you look at the statistics, out of 100 attempts, the tiger will succeed only 95, only 5 times. That means there is a failure rate of 95%. So that means only they used to look at uh, only for the visual where the tiger can attack the deer. So here, in the same way, if an attacker is try to perform any attack on any target system, so if the target system is secured and has followed some standard operating procedure of maintaining the system, such as by placing the antiviruses or by updating the security patches on time, if these kind of things were happened, so automatically it is a very difficult task for even attacker also to perform the intrusion. So that is the reason out of 100 intrusions, it is not guaranteed that 100 intrusion attempts, it is not guaranteed that every intrusion attempt will be successful. So out of 100, sometimes the probability is the attacker may get it or may not get it. Sometimes maybe one attempt may be successful. Okay, that means the attacker will keep on trying to attack the system. There is no rule that within the first attempt only the attack will be performed. No, it is a wrong assumption. So it is not like looking at the movies like Wednesday or some other thing that where an old man will go into the top of the building and will sit in some computer and will easily hijack or attack the uh, what you call the police control room or some other thing. So these kind of things are available only in movies. In general, okay, in general, out of making 100 attempts at least, so there is a chance, very less chance that one attempt will be successful. So, but what we will get out of that? So, if anyone is performing attempts, at least we can be vigilant that somebody is performing attempts. So, how can you detect that? That is only via analyzing the traces or via the system logs. So that means continuous monitoring or periodic monitoring of system log, periodic monitoring of traffic will help you in identifying that somebody is trying to intrude in our computer or in our network. This we can identify at least. So, so for that also, obviously, if you look at if you look at every day in a network of 1,000 computers in an organization, or at least 500 computers of an organization, per day you will find gigabytes of data that is going to be uh, passed from that is coming into the computer network or going out of the network. But this much GB of data, a human being cannot sit and cannot go for filtering or cannot go for checking of the things. So for this, you need to have some specialized methods. Either it may be the methods that are used in the intrusion detection system, or the methods that may be used in the. So a human being cannot go through this particular verification of the entire network traffic. Instead, what you are supposed to do is you need to incorporate some specialized methods, or you have to use some tools. So these tools may uh, have incorporated with some specialized models, or we can say intelligent models, maybe developed and might be incorporated in those tools. So they may go for checking of the traffic. And at the same time, as and when you look at a simple example, I'm telling you. I hope everyone might have used the Wireshark as a tool. So whenever you look at the Wireshark, just you open the Wireshark and connect to any network. So you look at a huge, or we can say, huge flow of traffic you will observe in the wire shot. That means within a fraction of a second, how much traffic will be captured and how much traffic will be has to be stored. And if you look at in the entire day, how much traffic, how much size of the traffic it will become. So it is very difficult to filter such kind of things. So for this, you need to have some specialized method. Okay? Instead of having general method, some specialized methods. Those methods are some intelligent methods. So we have seen these intrusion attempts. So in this, via system log, you can also observe what are the login attempts. Via this particular traffic, you will find exploiting known vulnerabilities. Or is there any vulnerability available? So for example, most of the most of us, that is, I have seen many of the people, even students, they won't upgrade their operating system. So it is always recommended to upgrade the operating system. The reason is security patches will be updated so that the old vulnerabilities which are available in the operating system can be patched with the new security updates so that the known vulnerabilities which are available cannot be exploited. So this is always recommended to have to perform what you can say the security updates periodically. Next one is fraud, masquerading, phishing, unauthorized use of resources. These are all the things. Already we have seen you have seen this kind of things in the previous talks also. Abusive content, okay, inappropriate violence or some sexuality, spam. Okay. So next one is malwares. So this yesterday in the talk you have seen malware. Malware is nothing but malicious software where you will find worms, adwares, trojans, spyware, rootkit, and advanced persistent threats. So if you are ignorant about this intrusion attempts, so automatically the intruders will launch this particular malware. So these malwares may become these worms, adwares, trojans, spywares, rootkits, advanced persistent threats. Then they go for like trojans, spywares, rootkits, and APTs will, as just now I discussed it, they will try to gather the information. Just they will gather the information via scanning, sniffing, and social engineering methods. So it is just like in a real world scenario. If you want to discuss, if you want to understand this, it is just like how the illegal uh, infiltrators, you can say infiltrators are itself is illegal. So they will choose some other paths which are weaker areas where the security is weak. They will spy on that areas and they will try to enter from those areas into any other country space. Slowly they will stay sometime silent in that particular country, and they will understand what is the system of that particular country, and what are the major sources from where they can make stability in that particular country. So via that they will try to simply behave as a normal. Then slowly they will habituate to the environment. Then finally they will try to do what are the malicious activities they want or they have actually intended for. So, and also they sometimes they will also enroll in the public schemes like social security schemes or ration distribution schemes. They will also enroll like getting of, especially in India, if you look at, they will try to get the Aadhaar card, and they will become finally a parasite into the country. They simply take the resources. They simply take the resources. Okay, they will take. They will enjoy all the free benefits. Okay, but they will do nothing. So in the same way, this if you are ignorant about this intrusion attempts, that means if you are not focused on the analysis of the traffic, if you won't focus on the analysis of the system logs, or observing of the packets or filtering at the firewall level, automatically they slowly enter into your computer. Okay, they slowly enter into your computer, and they will become the they will keep silent. They will keep silent, and even your Windows registry can also not detect, unable to detect that. And they will simply go for just will become a worm or adware or a Trojan or spyware, rootkit, advanced persistent threat. So they will remain in your computer for a long time. Whenever attacker will again ping to this particular malware from his computer, so whatever the payload available in these will be exploded. So thereby they will gather the information, okay, from the computer via scanning, sniffing, or social engineering. Whatever the key information they get it, okay, that will be sent back to the attacker, or they may become some attacks such as denial of service attack. You look at the you look at here worms. Okay? Worms will spread over the device, over the network. So these worms will become their population will become increased, and thereby what will happen? They always demand the resources from the operating system. So demand the resources from the operating system means they will require, they want to take more RAM or more bandwidth or more system resources. Thereby, genuine applications which are running in the operating system will not get the resource. So this in the real in the current society, you were also witnessing in form of illegal migrants or illegal infiltrators or some other thing that you have seen, and which are happening in the European countries, and anyhow India is always witnessing this kind of thing. So this is very very important. So you need to have a security at the what's called endpoint level or at the border level, and also have levels of security, so that if it is missed at one level, okay, then it may be caught at another level, or it may be caught at another level. So this kind of layered security will be used, uh, and some intelligence methods must be adopted at each level of security. Thereby, this traffic may be caught at any one of the levels. This is what the assumption. Okay, and this is what the thing in general will be used in the layer security, which is also called as defense in depth. So defense in depth is a concept where layered security has to be adopted, so that the traffic or the packets or the system logs which are recorded at every level will be analyzed via via providing some intelligent methods, so that the intrusion attempt can be identified at any one of the layer in that layered security. So I hope by this time you got the need for the intelligent methods to be placed at the for the malicious intent detection, and you also come to know that the main or prime source for this identification is network traffic, system logs, and packets. So these are the things that you have identified, and with this information we'll move on to the next. I would like to know, do you have any doubts so far? If you have any doubt, that will have that, then we'll go for next. So need for the detection mechanisms. So traditional security measures, as I told you, such as firewalls and antivirus software, are no longer sufficient. The reason is these attempts, what they do is they have a special kind of mechanisms, such as anti-sandboxing method. Usually, usually this antiviruses usually will work in the sandbox. So if it identifies some and virus, or if it suspects some application is a virus, then it immediately will be taken into sandbox. So sandbox is an environment. If you do something in the sandbox, that will not affect the real environment. That is what the ongoing environment, like operating system. So it will go into the sandbox, and it will try to quarantine that, or maybe remove it. So this kind of thing will happen. So but these methods will use the what you call the anti-sandboxing method, anti-sandboxing method. So attackers continuously develop new techniques, exploit zero-day vulnerability. Zero-day vulnerability means the vulnerabilities that we have not seen before, so which are called as zero-day vulnerabilities. So previously in we can say zero-day or a zero computer. Okay, the zero computer means the computer from where the virus has injected and the virus has spreaded in the network. So what is the starting computer is called is said to be zero computer. If I say what is the zero country where the COVID was spread. So if you say zero country means from where the COVID has originated. This is what they called. So here zero-day vulnerability means these vulnerabilities have not seen so far, and this is the start. This is the very new, brand new vulnerability. That is what they call. So and employ sophisticated methods to bypass conventional security. And for this, intelligent methods for malicious intent, especially like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics to identify the patterns, anomalies, and indicators of the malicious activity. So what we are supposed to what are the different things, intelligent techniques that you can adopt, such as anomaly detection. So anomaly detection here, if you look at anomaly detection means anomaly is nothing but it is something deviated from the normal behavior. So you might have seen in a uh, in movies and all also, the police will go for vigilance and they will go for observing some people who are going on the road or in some place. They will identify the suspects via the person who is behaving differently from the normal people. And that is normal behavior means just people will go on and they will talk, they will go for talking over the mobile phone and simply they will go here and there. But suspected looks, suspected way of behavior, and suspected way of things that is which are completely different from the normal behavior. So they will identify. So they are also considered as anomalies. So these anomalies usually will be especially used in the what you call the intrusion detection systems also. That means most of the intrusion detection systems are antiviruses. So this antivirus software are intrusion detection. Mostly will use the signature based detection. Signature based detection means if you look at any packet, that packet will be having a preamble, some data, some starting bits, some what is the starting port, destination port, starting IP, destination IP, some data items, CRC, and this kind of things will be happening. So this is a pattern. This pattern is said to be signature. If the signature is matched, then it will let to go. Otherwise, it will stop the traffic there. So this is what the simple thing. So here in the usual traffic which are defined in the IDS, if if any traffic which is not defined as a normal in the IDS, okay, they will be caught as abnormal. So this is what the general anomaly detection will be followed in the implementation. Next one is behavior analysis, monitoring and analyzing user and system behavior to detect patterns associated with the malicious. Signature based detection. So these are all under the anomaly detection of the behavior analysis and signature based detection, matching observed pattern against the database of known attack signatures. So it is just like you may be submitting your uh, uh, you may be submitting your signature in the bank at the time of opening the account. Whenever you have signed on a check and you have given, or you might have applied for the withdrawal on a withdrawal form and you have made a signature and you have given. So usually what they do is first they will check the signature, whether the signature is matched with the signature that you have provided at the time of opening the account or not. If the signature is not matched, and they will ask you to sign again in the back side of the DD or check or whatever. So again you will sign it and you will give it. So if the signature is almost matched, at least 90-95% matched, then you say okay. So it is just like this. The same way we also give us provide the traffic signature in the intrusion detection systems, so that if any signature is identified out of this particular given signature, then they will consider it as anomaly or the malicious traffic. Next one is natural language processing, because the If you look at the CSRF attacks or XSS attacks, cross-site scripting attacks, so all these things will be having a specialized URLs, or it will be performed over the URL. So whenever this lengthy URL has been provided to you, so automatically that URL need to be uh, divided into specialized strings, or we can say string, we can say string concatenate, not concatenation, string uh, division has to be done via backslashes or semicolons or comma or this kind of thing. And this is what are the patterns, what are the strings available in that URL has to be separated, and those frequency of the occurring of the strings in that particular URL has to be calculated, and based on that you need to assess, okay, whether the URL is a malicious URL or a normal URL. So for this, you are supposed to use the natural language processing, in which you will use the tokenization and that TF-IDF vectorization. These kind of things you use for performing this particular action. As you know, deep learning, utilizing the deep neural networks to recognize patterns and detect evolving trends, and other data mining methods analyzing large volumes of data, because the OLAP and OLTP, so these are which require uh, which will analyze a huge quantity of data, large volumes of data, discover hidden relationships like association rules. Okay, if this particular protocol comes, okay, along with this, what are the commonly occurring traffic patterns? So the protocol and the association with other traffic patterns. So these things will be analyzed. If it is if it is not so, that is according to this particular protocol, if this traffic pattern has not appeared, okay, what is the probability that this may belong to this particular protocol? If the probability is very less, then this kind of this that's the kind of traffic pattern can be considered as anomalous. So as we have seen in the data mining also, association rule mining, market basket analysis. So all these techniques can be easily adopted, easily utilized in the malicious intent detection. Next is ensemble methods. So ensemble methods are the combination of several machine learning models, that is combining multiple detection models to improve accuracy and reduce false positives and false negatives. Next is integration of threat intelligence. So this here, if you look at this malicious intent detection so far, these are all are can be broadly classified into two categories. One is offline and second one is online. Offline means already we have received traffic. Via that received traffic, we will try to prepare some data, prepare or extract data, and on that we may implement the natural language processing or the deep learning, data mining, this kind of ensemble methods or something. Okay, but during the runtime, when the traffic is going on, so we must prepare a model, already trained model, and we need to include in the device, so that during the runtime, that traffic will be identified as normal or abnormal. So the leveraging real-time threat intelligence feeds to enhance detection. So this is called as online. Online means as and when the traffic is getting into the system or network. So this is out of offline. The online detection is a very difficult task. So you require to have specialized methods to be incorporated, so that this online threat intelligence can be made. The reason is, in the case of offline, we know what is normal and what is abnormal, and we do it. But in case of real time, so we cannot expect the traffic. Uh, that means we have defined some traffic as normal and abnormal. We may identify some traffic which is nearly equal to normal, but looks like which internally consisting of abnormality, like some some changing of the flag bits in the packets, or this kind of thing. Like for example, in case of TCP, synchronous packet, synchronous flag, and acknowledgement flag, this kind of flags will be there. So they will be set to 0 or 1 depending upon the need of the packet to be sent, type of the signal to be sent. So if this kind of flips, small flips, will also result into some attacks in at the target end. So that is the reason the traffic sometimes will look like normal only, but unless until you go in deep of that, you will not identify it as a abnormal. So that is such kind of traffic will be sent by the attackers to mislead the system. So that is the reason online attacks are very very difficult to identify. So for this we require some specialized methods. So what are the different common challenges in malicious intent detection? Limited visibility and complex surface attack surface. So limited visibility is nothing but you need to go at the root level, especially at the network layer level, to capture the traffic. And sometimes complex attack surfaces. Just now I have explained small change in the bits in the flag. So that will change the entire scenario. It is just like a what you call TCP three-way handshake attack. Okay? So sending the synchronous signal, receiving an acknowledgement signal. For that, no synchronous acknowledgement signal has been sent. So automatically, what will happen? It will perform denial of service kind of attack. The reason is whenever a synchronous signal has been sent, the receiver will always create a half-opened connection. So like that, multiple synchronous floods have sent, then automatically multiple half-opened connections will be maintained at the target end. So for every half-opened signal, for half-opened connection, some memory space will be occupied. So whenever huge flood have synchronous has received, automatically that much memory will be occupied at the target end. So whenever the more memory is occupied, so automatically the genuine applications which are running in the computer will not get the enough space to run. So thereby it will it will lead to denial of service attack or memory attack. So this kind of things will happen. Evolving attack techniques and the need of a continuous adoption. So attack means here this attacks may happen in multiple ways, and you cannot expect. Sometimes there is a possibility of 0-day attacks also. Next one is balancing detection accuracy and false positives or false positives. This is a very very difficult task. In case of offline analysis, one can do it, but in case of online analysis, it's somewhat difficult task. Integration and interoperability of diverse security solutions. So if you look at yesterday, Dr. Parmit Madam told the edge level of security. Before that, Rajalakshmi Madam told that IoT level of security. Okay. Next, Dr. Sakshi Madam told that related to the privacy issue. Okay. See, look at all these things. Whenever the multiple devices like IoT or normal computers and edge systems, see, all these are combined. So there is no interoperability between the devices. So if you are using a HTTP protocol, means automatically HTTP will use internally TCP and TCP will use internally IP, and thereby there is a fixed structure. So it has to go in that path only. But in case of combining multiple networking devices like IoT devices, edge computing, and this kind of things, each and every device has its own way of working and own way of sending the data. So in such a cases, integration and interoperability of diverse security solutions is also a challenging task in case of malicious intent detection when the multiple devices are involved. So among all these things, we no need to work. We need no need to much focus on the limited visibility and complex attacks or evolving attack techniques because this traffic capturing analysis and all these things have been already been done by various people and they have prepared some data sets. But whenever you use this balancing the detection accuracy and whenever you come to the balancing detection accuracy and false positives or negatives, automatically you need to focus on what type of data you are going to analyze. If you look at if you look at from the previous discussion, the attack, the intrusion attempts may be more, but they may succeed at one time or maybe sometimes no time. So that means out of thousand traffic, uh, a thousand traffic patterns that we have received, there may be 100 traffic patterns that may look abnormal, or maybe look out of that maybe one or zero may be the attempts. So that means the probability of having attempt of the malicious attack out of 1,000 patterns is maybe one or zero. So that means out of 1,000 abnormalities may be 100 or maybe less than 100 or maybe 10 or maybe less than 10. So in such a cases, if you look at in a broader way, such kind of detection is said to be, or such kind of data preparation is said to be imbalanced classification. So what is the meaning of imbalanced classification? Where there will be more number of normalities, okay, than the abnormalities. That means around 10% of abnormalities or 5%, 2% of abnormalities, the rest are the normal. Then if such kind of data you have considered for making this particular or applying this particular intelligent techniques, then such kind of patterns are said to be the imbalanced data sets or imbalanced data sets. So in this is mostly used in case of the security because uh, we always consider that always the attempts will not be successful. Okay, only few attempts may be successful. In such cases, how you will identify such abnormalities? That is called imbalanced classification. In that imbalanced classification, balancing detection accuracy and false positive negative. This is very important. So here is a structure, or we can say a diagram, which was taken from the machine learning mastery. So in the imbalanced binary classification, whether the traffic is normal or abnormal, how to choose a performance metric. So what do you want to predict in this? Whether you want to predict the class label as normal or abnormal, or do you want to predict the probability that this particular pattern is belonging to the normal or abnormal? Okay. If more probability is there, then automatically more probability towards the normality, then it will become normal. If more probability towards the abnormality, then it will become abnormal. In this way, you want to classify whether you want to classify as a class label or probability, then class label will be like this. Are both classes equally important for you, or is the positive class more important? You are supposed to decide. That means according to your problem statement, you need to decide whether both classes are equally important to go for or to present, or is the positive class, that is normal class, is the only important. So in such a cases, in the case first, whether both the classes are equally important, then you can go for the G mean. Then if do less than 80 to 90% of the examples belonging to the majority class, then accuracy is the metric that can be used. In case is the positive class more important, in such a cases, are false negatives and false positives are equally costly for the problem statement that you have defined, then you use F1 score to present your results. Are false positives more costly? Then you present F 0.5 score for the presenting of the results. Are false negatives more costly? Then F2 score will be used for presenting of the results. While coming to the other part, that is probabilities. Do you need probabilities? Then Bayes score. Do you need class labels to decide based upon the probability? In such a cases, is the positive class more important? Then go for the AUC curve. Okay, precision recall ratio, precision recall area under curve to be implemented. Otherwise, are both classes are equally important, then receiver operating characters ROC AUC curve has to be presented. So this is the way you are supposed to focus on your results whenever you consider imbalanced classification, where more normalities are there. You will feel that the intrusions will happen very rarely in your computer. Obviously, intrusions will happen rarely, not in frequently. Okay, so it is very rarely will happen in the computer. So in such a cases, you need to consider in this way. So another example of imbalanced classification is credit card fraud detection. So in the credit card fraud also you will find huge number of normal transactions, somewhere around abnormal transactions. So out of 10,000 attempts, you will find around 50 or 100 attempts are as the abnormal. So this kind of thing. So this, in such a cases, this particular matrix, this particular flow chart or flow graph, you may use it for presenting the results. So adversarial machine learning. So far, we have thought that the adopting of intelligent techniques may detect the malicious activities or malicious intent uh, more accurately. For this, we have thought of using the deep learning or machine learning models to be incorporated. Please remember, weapons will not only be used by the security personnel, but also by the dacoits. Okay, so the weapons are equally used by both the parties. The same way, as a security analyst or security developer, you may develop a best intelligent model for detecting the techniques. So there may be the attacker who may try to subvert the machine learning model developed by you. Okay, so this is what the situation which lead to a specialized branch which is called as adversarial machine learning. So in this adversarial machine learning, you have more scope to do research while coming to in the area of cybersecurity. That is, if you are good in the developing of machine learning models, instead of simply downloading the libraries from the scikit-learn and giving the input, if you can have the knowledge of developing mathematical models for developing the machine learning techniques, then you may also incorporate with the help of the modeling methods that have been discussed previously by Dr. Deepthi madam. That kind of modeling techniques you can use it and develop a machine learning model that are uh, uh, that are resilient to the attack by the attack. So that is what we call adversarial machine learning. Adversarial machine learning has emerged as a technique to mitigate adversarial attacks on machine learning models. It is not on the computer; it is on the machine learning model. So adversarial machine learning enables detection of sophisticated and previously unseen attacks. So which are called as zero-day attacks. So far, whatever the talks you have listened so far, in all those talks, wherever the zero-day attack has appeared, there you may develop a intelligent model, which is called as adversarial machine learning model, and you may incorporate there, and you can work towards your research. So adversarial defense improves the model robustness against several adversarial attacks in malicious intent detection. Limitations include cat and mouse nature of adversarial attacks. So on the day one, during the inaugural session, our Honorable PC sir has told that it is just like a cat and mouse. Okay, sometimes attacker win, sometimes the defender win. So this kind of thing. So the attacker will try to perform some adversarial attack on the machine learning model or intelligent model that you have developed. You may counter it by making some specialized model. So this is what the things will happen. And in this, for the new entrants or beginners in the research area, one can also model this particular thing. Not only the modeling techniques told by Dr. DP madam, but also you can also model this via game theory model. So here sometimes the attacker wins, sometimes the defender wins. You should prepare a game theory model in such a way that it should reach Nash equilibrium. Okay, that is, there is an equilibrium between the attacking side from the attacking side to the defending side. In that way, also game theoretical models can be developed and can be incorporated in the adversarial machine learning model that you have developed. Relevance to the detecting sophisticated. AML is crucial for detecting sophisticated attacks that can avoid traditional detection. So, so It is what actually uh, the adversarial machine learning helps us in detecting some specialized attacks and zero-day attacks and attacks on the machine learning models. So some key steps to be used in the machine MID risk assessment. First of all, you need to assess the risk severity of the risk. Actually, the risk will be calculated in various levels. That is quick response, uh, somewhat relaxed response, or immediate response. This kind of thing. Based on that baseline establishment, establish a baseline for normal behavior of the network system and user activities. This is very important. If you might have done any mistake, then even sometimes a regular activity will also identified as abnormal activity. Sometimes, okay, sometimes uh, many of the many of the education institutions will be having some system administrators. Those system administrators will be given a instruction that okay, don't allow some abnormal websites, okay, or some e-commerce websites kind of thing. So they will use some string patterns for blocking such kind of websites. So whenever they use blocking kind of websites, sometimes even though like even though they have provided this kind of string pattern matching, okay, some of the journals usually referred by the uh, teachers in the education institution or the conference sites or maybe with the URL that may match with the string pattern. Even though it is a genuine one, the journal website or maybe conference website is a genuine one that will not be allowed to open in the within the organization. So this kind of things will happen. So that is the reason it is very important to establish the baseline for normal behavior for the network system and user activity. Next is monitoring. Continuously monitor the network traffic, system logs, and user activities using tools like IDS and SIEM, Security Info and Event Management System. So remember, whenever to do this baseline establishment, one has to perform the traffic observation for the normal activities at least for 3 months. If that much data is available to you, then only you can define what is normal and what is abnormal. That means you need to place a side by side device where, like a proxy device kind of thing, where it will capture all the traffic which is happening in the system, in the network. So after 2 or 3 months, whatever the traffic you have collected, or periodically also, you need to analyze that. Then only you will identify the normal behavior within the organization. What is happening within the organization? So that means it is not the thing like immediately you have started the network install NID and directly you are working towards. No, not like that. It requires some special some time for training. So continuously monitor the traffic, okay, either by using this IDS or SIM. Analyze the collected data by identifying patterns, anomalies, and indicators of the malicious intent using intelligent methods like machine learning and data analytics. Incident response. Develop a well-defined incident response plan and integration and automation. So for this, you need to develop a some intelligent method, and you may save that model after training, and that trained model, saved trained model, may be used for performing the rest of the traffic analysis. So for this, you may once that model is trained, the trained model can be of somewhat saved model that can be placed in any of the devices like not Raspberry Pi, Raspberry Pi or Raspberry Pi kind of devices, and those devices can be placed at the network starting level, and so that the traffic which is coming into that automatically will detect, will be passed to the Raspberry Pi, and in the Raspberry Pi you may run, you may install Linux, and there you may install the within the Linux you may install the network intrusion detection system or some pattern matching kind of methods, and it will immediately detect it, and if it is traffic is abnormal, then will block the traffic there itself, and this kind of activities also you can perform. So IDS system, security information and event management system, threat intelligence platforms like IOCs, And here, these are threat connector, record future, anomaly, okay, Palo Alto network. These are the various threat intelligence platforms that you can install. Endpoint detection like CrowdStrike, Carbon Black. These are the various tools, okay, that will perform this endpoint detection. These are the 4 different technologies that are used for the malicious intent. And here are the case studies. Already one of the uh, speaker might have told this particular Stuxnet cyber weapon, target data breach, okay, Sony Picture Entertainment data breach, okay, WannaCry ransom software. I have provided the links. You may also go through these links to know these case studies, how the attacks were happened, and as a consequence, what are the defense mechanisms they have incorporated. So here, uh, this is the ransomware attack that happened in 2017, which is funded by Russian hackers group, uh, Russian government to the hackers group. They have performed a ransomware attack on the Ukraine system. So this is a kind of advanced persistent threat case study. Next one is SolarWinds supply chain attack. This is also one recently happened attack. Success stories. Out of the lessons learned from that, Equifax data breach. So this particular largest credit reporting agency suffered a significant data breach. So by learning the lessons from that, they have developed some rules, specialized rules and systems for defending this data breach. Google's anti-phishing measures. This is also a kind of method developed after facing uh, some attacks over the Google system. Next is Microsoft Azure Sentinel. This is also a kind of platform. It is a cloud platform developed based upon the lessons learned from the attack. Next is Cisco's Talos Threat Intelligence. This is also one kind of attack, one kind of software. Next is Facebook automated malware detection. This is also an intelligent method where the automated malwares will be identified by the Facebook. Next one is PayPal's advanced fraud detection. There is a serious attack on the PayPal during the lockdown time when to transfer the amount to the foreign countries via PayPal. So they have learned a lesson, and they have combined machine learning algorithms and behavior analytics and risk assessment models. PayPal system can identify suspicious transactions and pattern incentives for the fraudulent behavior. So after learning the lessons from the attacks, they have developed some specialized system, okay, and have been used for their own application. So some of the best practices for malicious detection: continuous monitoring, updating, collaboration with information sharing, compliance with the industry standards and regulations. What are the different industry standards? NIST Cybersecurity Framework, ISO 27001, GDPR. These are the regulations has to be followed because you must be equipped with all these things. Then you can nullify or you can minimize the attack. Incident response and planning, threat intelligence integration, and employee awareness and education. So periodically, you need to aware the employee for this particular thing. So future trends: AI-powered threat hunting, automated response systems, and integration of blockchain. So previous speakers also told about the blockchain used for the enhancing the security and ethical considerations. Ethical considerations are very important with respect to of organization. Any organization has to follow this ethical considerations. So to conclude this, proactive detection of robust cyber security is required. That means whatever the malicious intent detection is there, this is called as, it's not a reactive one, it's a proactive one. Next is embrace the intelligent methods and proactive measures to develop the specialized methods, staying ahead of evolving threats and enhancing protection and trust. That is, this enhancing protection and trust will come only via the ethical considerations followed by the organization. So essential component of a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy. So these are the main crux of the topic that what we have discussed. So this is what the conclusion, and here are the references. So to move forward, I have provided you some links also. So to this, those links, if you can open that, so intelligent intrusion detection systems. If you open this particular notepad, you will find various methods that can be used for intrusion detection, and uh, what are the performance metrics that you can report in your research papers. So this I have provided in a notepad, and also I have shown you via imbalanced classification what you can do. Next one is, so far we have seen that traffic need to be analyzed, traffic patterns need to be analyzed. So traffic pattern, how we will capture the traffic pattern? These traffic patterns can be captured with the help of Wireshark, T-Shark, TCP dump, or any other packet capturing tool that you install on your computer. So whenever you install this Wireshark, T-Shark, or TCP dump, those the traffic will be stored in a .pcap file, that is packet capture file. So that pcap file should be converted into CSV file via some via the method that I'm going to discuss now. So we all know that the data sets that we are going to use are of CSV in nature, that is comma separated values. So from the traffic, we need to pick up the features that are required to use for the intelligent methods. So whenever you use the Wireshark or T-Shark, you might have installed Wireshark or T-Shark in your computer. So if you look at in the C drive, I have program files in which you will find Wireshark. So in this Wireshark, you will find several executable files, okay? Like edit cap and merge cap. Merge cap is a tool used for merging various pcap files. So raw shark, record cap, okay, and T shark. So T shark is the executable file will help us. So that is the reason you may keep this particular path in the runtime environment by going to the my computer, that is this PC, go to the properties and go to the advanced system settings. There you place this particular path so that this T sharp will uh, come onto the runtime environment. So once you have set up this path, go to the command. So here in the advanced system settings, you can go to the environment variables and add it in the path variable under the user or under the system variable, so that it will come into the runtime environment. So once it come into the runtime environment, you can go to the command prompt and there you can type C# -H. So -H means help. So it will show you the list of various options available for processing the pcap file, that is packet capture file. So whenever this packet capture file has been supplied and using the various options, you can process them. So you can process it, and whatever the features that you want to get from the pcap file, that features can be picked up and can be kept in a CSV file. So that is what the method that I have provided in the pcap to CSV notepad file that is provided in the Google Drive. So, install the latest Wireshark version, set the T-Shark in the path, go to the command prompt, use the following command to generate the CSV. T-Shark -H, just now I have shown you, so that the help will be shown to you. Converting the in the Google Drive, I have provided you FTP2.csv file. This FTP2.csv file I'm using, FTP2.pcap file. This particular pcap file I'm using to create a CSV. So T-R read the pcap file, and the various fields are frame number, frame time, Ethernet source, Ethernet destination, and IP source, IP destination, TCP port, header. These are the features I am filtering from the traffic, and these features I am sending into ftp2.cs. Just you as it is copy and paste on the command prompt where this particular pcap2 sorry ftp2.pcap file is available. Due to the limited time, I am not able to copy and paste and not show. So anyhow, I have provided you the ftp2.csv file also. Just you open that CSV file. So that CSV file consisting of all these features. Now you come to know with the PCAP file, pick the relevant features that are required for deciding whether the traffic is normal or abnormal, and you may use that particular CSV file using Python or any other tool that you want to analyze or develop the machine learning models, maybe R or Python or maybe any other. You look at frame dot number, frame dot time, Ethernet source, destination, IP destination, TCP port. Now you may also add presence of UDP, presence of ICMP, whether it is 0 or 1 or any other thing. Then you can also mention whether class, whether it's normal or abnormal, normal or abnormal. Like that also you can add some more features in this. So, and this particular CSV file you may give as an input to the machine learning models and perform the pre-processing, checking of the null values, these kind of things. Many things you can do it, and then you may apply the machine learning. So, performing this for a small capture tool like FTP2, which is of 94 KB, it's a small PCAP, but it's a very sometimes there may be PCAP files which are of very large in it. So for that, you may go through the link provided here. It is called as CAC flow meter. This CAC flow meter was developed by Canadian Information Security Lab. Canadian Information Security Lab. So Canadian Information Security Lab. So you can go to this link, and this link is also I have provided in this particular thing. You can go to this CAC lab datasets application.html. Okay. And this is the GitHub website page where CAC flow meter can be downloaded. This CAC flow meter is developed in Java to filter the PCAP file and fetch the features whatever you want and put it into the CSV file. Okay, so you can download this and you may use it. Especially this is helpful if your PCAP file crosses 1 GB size. That means huge traffic is available. Then you want to filter that. Then CAC flow meter will do a better thing. And C# will also do better, but it will take some time. While coming to this Canadian Cybersecurity Hub, now here they have provided some benchmark data sets. So here data sets, they have provided huge number of benchmark data sets. Anyone who are trying to, who are performing or in the beginning stage or intermediate stage, want to capture, want to get some data sets, then they can go to this Canadian Information Security Lab that I have provided the link here. In this, you will find data sets. They have made a real network, or they have made a real setup of the network and performed the traffic flow, normal and abnormal traffic flow, and between they have made several attacks over the normal on the devices, and those traffics will also be are also captured, and finally they have prepared the data sets. Okay, so the data sets will be like this. You look at available datasets, ground truth datasets, real or fake, IoT datasets, dark web datasets, DNS datasets, IDS datasets, ISCX datasets, malware datasets, operational technology datasets. So you look at so many huge number of datasets. For example, if you look at a DNS datasets, so these are the CIC datasets, IDS datasets. So these are the various IDS datasets. Okay, and remember each dataset like CIC DOS, CIC IDS 2018 and DOS 2019 dataset crossed GB. Like it will be of 50 GB, 100 GB, such kind of network traffic is there, and datasets are around 2 GB, 5 GB, 6 GB, like that. So just you be cautious when downloading, because there are huge number of data, huge datasets. So what they have done is they have set up a network, and that network has run for around 3 months or 4 months, and in middle they have performed some attacks, and that traffics will are captured, and those traffics, what are the traffic they have captured? They have used the CAC flow meter and prepared the data sets that you are seeing on the screen. So in order to, if you don't want to, or if you want to develop your own attack, and if you want to apply, then you can also do at the small scale in your computer. How you can install, this is a virtual machine. You can install a Kali Linux operating system on your virtual machine. You install some victim operating systems like Windows XP and Windows 10, and open side by side and connecting to the network within the local network. Then install the TCP dump or Wireshark on Windows 10 as well as in the Windows XP, and perform send some traffic from the Kali Linux to Windows 10 and Windows XP, and at the same time use some attacking tools which are available in the Kali Linux, and attack the systems Windows 10 and XP, so that the normal traffic and the abnormal traffic will be captured at the Wireshark, which is running on the Windows 10 and XP. Now the PCAP file available in Windows 10 and XP will be taken and use the merge cap file that I have shown you previously in the Wireshark. Use the merge cap file and use just to merge both the things and prepare the data set as just now I have shown you, like, okay. So T# -R and the merged PCAP file, and you pick up whatever the features you want, and those features you send it to the FTP, sorry, whatever the CSV file you want. So this CSV file you may provide it as a input to the Python script that you write, and once you have trained the model, save that model, and that model can be retrieved by any other Python script that you write, and rest of the flow will go on and automatically will try to identify what is normal and what is abnormal based upon the training model. I hope now it is 11:30. I will stop here, and I have so many things to discuss here. Anyhow, I have provided all the links and all in the notepad. And if you want to analyze the large PCAP, you can use the cloud source like cloudshark.io. Okay, cloudshark.io. So this is what the large PCAP files you want. Actually, this CloudShark is paid version, and you cannot use this. You are supposed to purchase this. So instead, you may use the CAC flow meter for analyzing the large PCAP file. Okay. Next, I will take 1 or 2 minutes to explain you what are the PDF files available. Now, so here this is the data and endpoint security. This is 08 PDF file, and in which what is meant by adware, ransomware is a description was provided. Next one is Insect DCS, a highly customizable network intrusion dataset creation framework. For this, you will find reference here. Network intrusion dataset creator. This link is available in GitHub. You can use this network intrusion detection dataset creator instead of T#. If you know the T# well, and if you can use this, you may use this and supply the PCAP file and get the CSV file, and by picking the features that you want. Or you may download this network intrusion dataset creator, and you may use this tool to get your CSV, whatever the CSV you want. So actually, whatever the CSV means, automatically it will fetch the features like this. Here, in the third page of the paper, it was mentioned that feature name, connection pairs, IP address, number of ports, number of packets, SRC bytes, destination bytes, TCP framework length, frame length. So these are the various features automatically will be fetched from your PCAP file and will create as a CSV file. Okay, so this is what the 9_insec DCS paper. Next is here is a paper which consisting of a survey of network intrusion detection datasets. Till 2009, sorry 19, whatever the data famous IDS datasets available, their description. You look at here, to work with any IDS dataset or any traffic analysis datasets. First, especially if it is related to the cyber security, one must have thorough knowledge of packet structure of IP header, TCP header, UDP header, and IP header. Because entire game of detecting the attacks are based on these four packet structures. So that is the reason one must have thorough knowledge of the packet structure, and based on that, how the datasets have been prepared. You look at dataset properties and their values ranges. So clearly, a diagram has been mentioned. So this will help. This particular paper will be helpful to the beginners and intermediate stages of researchers, for not to break their head to what are the data sets available and what kind of traffic to be analyzed and all. Instead, once you thoroughly read this paper, so you will understand what are the IDSs available or what are the data sets available. You look at KDD CUP99 dataset is there, which is based upon the DARPA dataset, and NSL KDD is based on the KDD CUP dataset. At the same time, PUIDS dataset, which is a recent dataset, is based upon NSL-KDD. So if you are using NSL-KDD in your research, then the reviewer may ask that now the recent IDS are available, like PUIDS. So why can't you use it? So that reason, thereby entire you are supposed to do the you are supposed to do again your research work. So that is the reason, once you know this particular diagram, or once you go through this paper, you will come to know what is the latest data set. So if you can work on the latest data set, then automatically this kind of questions can be dropped from the review. So like this, which data set is a combination of other data sets, like that, a very neat picture has been provided in this particular paper. And if you look at this, you will find here very rotate view. So complete details of that is overview of network database datasets. So how much duration of data they have collected, what is the size, every information is provided in this research paper. It will help you to perform your work. Next one is 13, benchmarking datasets for anomaly based network intrusion detection. KDD CUP99. Even 3-4 years back also, till 1 year back also, our students used to use KDD CUP99 dataset. But it is a very old dataset. It is the 99, that is 1999 it was developed. But later on, many datasets have come with a different attacks. So this particular paper will help you to know what are the IoT datasets, what are the IDS datasets, datasets for the edge computing, and this kind of thing. Next one is, this is a beautiful paper which focus on the survey of intelligent techniques for Android malware detection. So what are the different intelligent techniques that you can adopt to the Android malware detection? Yesterday, one of the speakers, Dr. JP sir, has told this. So in this, he has explained his work. Obviously, what are the other intelligent techniques available? You can go through this paper and you can identify. And a survey of malware detection using data mining techniques. This is the ACM Computing Surveys paper. which will help you a lot in identifying what are the data mining techniques available in malware detection. So if you want to perform any other, or if you want to go for what you call, if you want to practice from the traffic, you want to develop a PCAP file, then go to this malware traffic analysis.net. So it will help you to download huge number of PCAP files which are of malware traffic, and you can develop a PCAP file out of that. So this is the malware traffic analysis.net. So in which there are various traffic analysis exercises. First, a traffic analysis exercise was provided. You practice this traffic analysis exercise and go to the tutorial and practice these exercises. Then you will get an idea, okay, how to work with this traffic path. Then you can go to the post, and latest to 2023, if you look at it, so they have provided you several traffics like PCAP files. Okay, so this any one of the PCAP file, you download it and try to use T# and try to develop a CSV file, and that CSV file you may use it for your research. So like that, I have provided you Canadian Information Security Lab web link and malicious intent detection challenge, which is available in Kaggle, and detection of malware using machine learning models. This is also some code, as I told you in that list of topics that I'm going to discuss hands-on. This code I am planning to, I have planned to explain it, but because of the shortage of time, I will stop it here, and I request the participant to explore these URLs. Thank you.